Hi everyone, this is Dr. Raymond Brophy with Blue Sky Bio. In this step, actually this is part of the third step, which is after marking your interproximal surfaces, then we'll just click next and automatically the teeth library will pop up. So when the teeth library pop up, then we will be able to select, first of all, the different libraries that we have. In this case, I'll select the Midhurst Pontic library. Okay, and we will select which tooth are we marking. In this case, we're doing the right mandibular first molar. Okay, and we'll select the size, which is medium in this case. And after we click next, automatically the tooth proposal will be in the spot. Okay, so it will definitely depend on all of the steps that we did back, how good or how bad our proposal will be. Now, as you can see, you can have a little bit uh, of rotation and just place the tooth accordingly to your adjacent teeth. Okay, go to the buccolingual aspect, go to the mesiodistal aspect in the plane. Okay, center the crown in that plane, and then after you have placed the tooth in a clinically acceptable shape, then you can use the rest of the tools that we have in the wizard, which are very useful. So here I can say that it's now perfect, and then we have different forms. Number one, the transform tool is the widget that we can use, as you know, moving the arrows. The small arrows are just for you to know the center of rotation or the pivot of the widget. Okay, we can move that center of rotation, and whatever is in the middle of this point will be the part that we will be pivoting from. So for example, if I put my pivot in the occlusal surface, then I could rotate my molar all around that area. Okay, and so on. That can be in the head, middle, or tip of the tooth, and you can use it as best as suits you. Okay, good. So now the next tool is the add or remove tool. The add or remove tool will depend on using the shift and the left mouse button. As you can see, each time that I press my shift, and a dotted area will appear. Okay, this dotted area, this selected area, will be the area affected. Principally, as you can see, we have, let me show you, we have a very dark area in the middle, and then it actually vanishes towards the limits of the area. That is because if I activate it, it will activate like gradually in order in the to the apex of my cursor, towards the cursor. So what I'm going to do is, if I could, let's say that I want to accentuate the anatomy of this molar. Okay, so I will add material. Okay, and as you can see, this tool, it's really sharp right now. So what I need to do, I'll just undo this step. What I can do, if I keep pressing control, I can also control the strength of my tool, as you can see here in the slide bars. Okay, always the slide bars will be controlled by either control or shift button. Usually shift will be the size and control will be the strength. Okay, so basically, let's say that I want to, again, I want to accentuate this anatomy. Now that I changed the strength of the tool, I can accentuate my anatomy nicer in order for me to create ridges and embrasures and everything. Okay, so now I will change my tool to the soft tool. Exactly the same thing. With shift, I will increase the diameter or the tool size. With control, I will increase the strength of the tool. Okay, so let's hold shift and then the left mouse button. This will, as you can see, this will soften this will soften the wall or the anatomy on the areas that I'm selecting it. Okay, this will be really useful tool. Good. So now I will choose the local deform. Okay, so the local deform tool, for those of you guys that have ever played with Serec or with any other CAD/CAM system, you know that there is a circular tool that will allow you to modify the different shapes or the different contours of the selected area. It will be just for a selected area. Okay, and this will affect only to the areas that we are selecting with the shape, with the actual size of the tool. Okay, and it has an arrow. So for example, here I see a concavity. If I want to delete that concavity, I will select the local tool, hold shift, left mouse button until it turns yellow, and just change that position of my tool. Okay, good. So in this case, for example, I will just change the position so I can create a contact area as contact surface for this crown. I can even look in the inside of the model, right click on the model, and toggle transparency on. This will allow me to create better interproximal surfaces anywhere. So for example, I'll increase my local deform tool to affect half of the tooth, right? So I'll just move it this way. Now I scale it basically. Let's say that I want to increase the shape of my distal buccal cusp in my first molar. Same thing. Okay, this will create a better and more anatomically acceptable restorations. So here, for example, is where I'm going to use, we can do two things here. For example, we can select, again, the local tool, smaller, stay in the middle of the area that I want to diminish, and then just try to control it. However, it is difficult. Or we can use the smooth tool very lightly, and then just have a very tiny area that it's contacting the adjacent tooth, and that will work. Okay, same thing on the other side. I'm just going to smooth the interproximal surface. I can even toggle the contact, and that will be great. Okay, so here, and I will add just a little bit of material here interproximally, and I'll leave this here just a little bit, just a touch. Trust me, these contact points come up really tight, which I love. So once that I have a clinically acceptable surface, then I'll toggle on. I'll bring my opposing jaw, and I will as well select with the smooth tool or the local deform tool. Again, toggle the right click, toggle the transparency, and then just use the contact tool to delete the contacting areas on the opposing jaw. Okay, good. Once that I have that, then I will be able just to go back to my tutorial step and click next. And that's it. I hope you like it, and please, any comments, let me know. Have a good day. Bye bye.